people didn't necessarily see you as a D1 player, right?
Yeah.
How did that affect you, and like how did that make you a better basketball player?
It didn't really have much of an effect on me. I just was surrounded by other good players, and I didn't want to be the one guy that wasn't good, so I worked really hard to get to that level. One of my good friends was Jack McClinton, and he ended up going to Miami, then ended up getting drafted by the Spurs, so he was in the gym nonstop, and I just followed his lead every single day. We became really close, and I would get out of school, I would leave probably like 3 o'clock, and I would be in the gym from like 3 to 7. All day, and because my mom was working, my dad was working, so I just spent most of the time waiting for them, just working out.
You must have loved it.
I loved it, I did. I fell in love with it. And then also being from Baltimore, I think it's a basketball town. Like I said, all my peers that I grew up with, not necessarily high school players or friends, my neighborhood, Kevin Norris is from Baltimore. He's someone that I grew up watching as well. I wanted to be a part of that culture, and I figured it out. I found my niche, and I was successful.
Did you always just kind of love basketball? Do you remember not loving it, or did someone give it to you, teach it to you, or you just kind of find it because everyone else was playing it?
I think I kind of found it. I started off, I loved football. I was a really good football player. I didn't have any issues playing football. And then over time, the wear and tear, the banging and helmet colliding, it kind of was like, all right, this is enough. You know what I mean? So I started to really get a love for basketball around the age of 12. From there, I just stuck with it. And then also my high school basketball coach, after my freshman year, he was like, yo, you gotta pick something. Like, you can't do both sports. And I chose basketball.
So you went to UMass, you scored a ton of points, obviously. At one point you passed Julius Erving, I believe, that's accurate. What does it feel like to say you scored more points than Julius Erving anywhere in the world?
I mean, it's something to be happy about for sure, but he was a way better player than I was. He didn't spend as much time at UMass as I did either, but it's definitely something to be proud about because he is one of the best players to ever play the game of basketball, and he played at my university, so to be, above him in one category of the game of basketball is pretty cool.
People get known as a scorer. Did you work to be more than just a scorer? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely worked to be more than just a scorer. I tried to become a playmaker as I got later into my career. I always had the knock of being an undersized scoring guard, and if you wanted to play in the NBA, you couldn't be 6'1" and trying to score every basketball. So I tried to grow into becoming a point guard and being more of a facilitator. Didn't go as well as playing, but I put the ball in the hole. That was pretty good.
From becoming a player to a coach, what's the hardest part of that transition?
I sometimes have to separate myself from a lot of situations, meaning like how I would handle situations as a player. I get that competitive edge, or I sometimes put myself in their shoes of how I would handle certain situations, and not always realizing that everyone's different. But I've gotten a lot better at that.
Why did you want to coach?
I always wanted to stay around the game. Didn't think I wanted to be an agent or anything like that, but I knew that I wanted to be around the game of basketball. Once I retired, I didn't want to just give it up and walk away completely. I knew that I wanted to be a part of it and be around camaraderie and in a team environment, and coaching was the way I wanted.
How can you help use your experiences to help the players that you're coaching?
Well, I mean, I feel like I've been through their shoes. I've walked their path, and I've done it more recently. I just want to be a helping hand in any way that I can, give them some guidance. A lot of times you deal with some guys that think they know more than you, which is fine. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. I call it going to school of the hard knocks. But I just try to shine light on them with any situation that I can and give them as much guidance as I can and give them insight that I wish I had, or be a person that I wish I thought I had when I was going through the same things that they're going through.